So it seems to me like, I mean, retail, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't possible. So retail traders can, in our opinion, and make a success of themselves starting out, in that kind of like 1 to 3 month, 1 to 6 month time frame, because there's many, many opportunities there to get some sort of edge over the market. It sounds like, for most guys coming in, it's obviously really, really difficult if they're just sitting in their bedroom and they don't have, that guy looking over their shoulder and helping them. So you were in Florida, for example, like just a few weeks ago with a whole bunch of guys from the Institute. And it was your inaugural vacation mentoring program. And we had 8 retail traders there. How was that experience for you? What did they learn? How were they in terms of response to what they were getting taught? Mm-hmm. What type of behaviors did you pick up on from retail traders? It'll be interesting to hear what your experiences were there.
Yeah, so I did a vacation program a few weeks ago, and that was really my first exposure to working with retail individuals who are really into investing and trading. And actually, since I started talking to you, what has really blown me away is the I guess the intelligence of a lot of these retail traders. Like they are, a lot of them, a lot more advanced actually than some of the professionals are now these days. The stuff that they come up with was impressive.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting, I think, was because most of my background has been dealing with other professional traders, sell side guys, buy side guys, whatever. So you kind of all speak the same language. It's like, I guess in any profession, you just get used to it. Then when you start talking to other people, what I started to realize was the hunger for people to do it themselves, because the returns for the on the fund side has just been really bad.
Yeah.
And it's honestly a pretty low bar actually that's set by the institutions these days. And man, I gotta tell you, these guys are bright.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not finance guys, right?
Yeah.
They come from all walks of life, they have other normal jobs, and they're really bright. They impress me. And they can probably do just as well or better than many professionals these days, I think.
It's an interesting point, actually. Do you think there's an intellectual snobbery on the professional side that's being caught out in terms of returns?
Yeah, it's, people make a big deal out of, they're a portfolio manager or some fun, but at the end of the day now, we all have access to information, super fast. We have access to probably, the best and quickest information in history, which means that we all more or less in the same level playing field. And as a small investor, you have your edge is that you're small, and that's what I was trying to teach these guys. Is you look at the big funds and you're like, oh man, how can I compete against that? Well, you look at where your edge is. Well, first of all, you can invest in smaller companies that a big fund is going to take months to get into and out of. And they wouldn't even maybe invest in them at all because, it doesn't fit there. All the boxes aren't necessarily ticked off for compliance and, regulatory reasons and all this other stuff. So the big funds now really have their hands tied behind their back. I mean, it's really like, I don't know, used to being a race car driver, now you're kind of driving with one hand. Yeah. Behind your back and one patch over the other eye, and it's like a huge handicap. So now the gap between professional traders and retail traders can really merge